Battery switch on and let's see what happens. All right.
Smoke out of the wire.
Let's see if the strobe comes on.
There we go. Got the engineer side's working.
Can't see that side. This side's not on.
Yeah, fireman side's still inoperable.
Frank, off with the strobe lights head.
Right. What they used to call in the car business at Henry VIII. Off with their heads.
Off with their heads. Okay, so this left strobe is not working, so we're gonna open it up. There's a fuse in there. We're gonna check the fuse. We're gonna see if power's getting up there, number one. Well, fuse number one, and then see if we're getting power up there. And if the fuse is blown, we're gonna try to figure out why. So, stay tuned. Okay, what are we doing today, Dave?
Okay, we're going to add on wiring for the strobe lights. And this is the old wiring for the big yellow rotating beacon up there. And what had happened was that it has been disconnected, and here's where that signal light was. And it came up to 16L3 and 16L4 up in the nose here. So we're going to pull off those two wires, and I think they're going to be obvious which ones they are. And then this is the front headlight switch in the cab. We're going to pull those wires off that switch and put a new switch in that is just a slide switch in the cab. But the first thing we got to do is find out which of the input wires that have been pulled from the strobes is positive or negative. I don't see them labeled here.
Okay.
So we got to get
So we just
Carl
do a continuity check and...
Well, we got to get Carl up here to understand how that's going.
Okay.
But then once that's happening, or even before then, you can look at the wires here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm guessing those two wires are the ones that actually went up to the signal light. So they've got to come off no matter what.
They look crispy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, very crispy. Extra crispy.
Okay. Now, I'm going to turn the...
Was that SLA and SLP, or which ones are those?
That's the ones that were up there. You know, white and black. And those are white and red.
Yeah, looks red.
Okay. The problem is now I need to turn the voltages on and measure 3 and 4 to make sure that we got 74 volts coming down to them when the lights are all in place and stuff.
Okay.
I don't see any.
The strobes are polarized. We don't see any.
I don't see any indication here.
Okay.
That's why I need. Hey, Carl?
Yeah.
Those wires that came out, I don't see red or black or anything on them.
There should be on that SO cord, red and black.
On this cord.
Like right here. These SO wires.
Well, oh.
They're right here.
Oh, we have to connect them. Yeah, so we're
Okay.
gonna.
So
All
the
right.
connection, I guess, would be made in the
Yeah,
light
we'll ohm it
fixture.
out and. Okay, makes
right.
sense.
So we'll have to ohm those out then.
Yep.
Hey, Carl, what are those other two wires in here? Do you know?
Those came off of this switch.
They're numbered.
They were off when this panel was taken down.
Okay, so they go on the switch for this light.
Yeah, just like it is on the other side.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, when I got involved here, these were already, they came loose.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
looked at the other side over there, how they were connected.
So here's the plus and minus.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, the red, I guess, is the plus because it's the one that has these fuse in it,
Up in the, yeah, okay.
up above.
Okay. El schematico.
There's the warning device. And if you look at BC 87, that comes basically right from the battery switch itself.
Right.
So we've got that turned on, that's hot. Here's the warning device breaker. He's up. So that should be hot.
Okay.
And then the other switch that's involved is the headlight switch has to be turned on to get it through. So let's get the front headlight switch on. Okay. Now
Headlight
take the
switch is on.
voltmeter and measure between L3 and 4
Okay.
up there. You should have 74 volts.
Okay. So I'm gonna measure
L3
Between
and L4.
L3 and L4. And not getting anything. So L3 is left side, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's between this side and this side here. And we're not getting anything.
Okay, measure across those two crispy wires.
Across the two crispy wires, see if we get anything. Getting nothing.
All right.
So we're gonna measure.
Okay.
66.5.
Yeah.
So we're getting power there. 66.5, negative 66.5,
Okay.
but yeah, we're getting power, good.
All right, that says that coming off of that circuit breaker, we've got power. Now, the next problem is up at the switch itself.
See, we're getting a signal there.
Use the wire brush and hit the lead paint and primer around it. Then I gotta take the cork, punched holes all around.
And you're seeing 0,
0 at 16 L3.
up L3 and 4.
L3 and 4, yep.
Make sure that we're all talking the same language here.
Okay. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so between L3 and L4,
Nothing.
nothing.
Okay. All right. Now, we need a long extension cord, a long.
So we jumpered from the breaker, ran a wire over here to L3, and then measured L4 to confirm that we have a circuit. So I got this.
Measure between 16L3 and 16L4.
All right. Let me take that. Okay, so we're measuring between 16L3,
1604.
16L4 with a jumper, and we're getting hold on. We're getting voltage 63.
63.
Okay, thank you. That's good. All right, you get these stripped back. Get them onto here and ohm these out to get the right polarity
On the other end.
so we know plus and minus
Right.
on this side and that side.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
And once that's done, then we'll come back and
Let's get to it.
do some more.
So the strobe wiring comes down through here, ends up here. There's a red and a black wire in there. These are our two wires coming from the front of the locomotive, from the terminal board, and we need to do a continuity check between this end and the other end and identify a black and a red, and then splice those onto the black and red here. And then from there, we'll do a test to see if the strobe, well, we'll connect it on the other end and then do a test to see if the strobe comes on or not. All right, so I think this is about 12 gauge. I can't even see my vision so bad. I think that's 12 gauge right there. So I'm gonna strip that. Somebody stole my strippers. It might be the wrong size. So I gotta use one of these crappy strippers. I gotta put some glasses on. I can't see what I'm doing here. Okay, there we go. There's one. There's two. Okay, so next is this one. So I'm gonna use a different tool to do this. So I'm just gonna cut this, peel it open, and then strip. All right, so cut. So let's just cut this open. Expose that wire. Got some paper on there. There we go. Cut those off later. So now I'm going to strip these. We'll put some fast on connectors and connect these together. Actually, I'm going to splice these together. Right. Okay. And now I'm going to strip the other end of these gray wires. And this end's going to get fast on connectors so that we can connect them up here to that terminal board with fast ons. So what we're going to do is we're going to ohm out this end and find the other end, and then we're going to identify one of them is positive and the other one is negative because they are polarized. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, so let's do a continuity check from this end. Oh, these guys are being noisy down here. All right. Connected to the right wire here. Why is it not? Oh. There we go. And the meter was off a little bit. Okay. Let's just start over. Now on this end. Okay. So this wire right here we'll identify as negative, and then we'll make this one positive. All right. I'll go ahead and crimp that end. Okay. Put another one on this end here.
Yeah, the one you had to go rescue them? I don't understand. And I sent an email to Hank and David.
All right, we got that on, and now we just need to connect this wire. We'll connect this one to positive, this one to negative, make it easy, and then we'll be done. Okay. All right, so we got these crimped, heat shrunk, and a little bit of heat shrink here just to kind of protect it from rubbing up here. So we're gonna go ahead and secure all of this here and here to keep this cable from rubbing on these sharp edges. All right, so let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll do the other end. Okay, we've got it all secured. So now that we're done with this end, we need to put fast on connectors on this end so that we can connect it to this terminal block 16, L3 and L4. So let's get started on that. But before we start, what we're gonna do is we're gonna label these wires. So let's go ahead and make some labels so we can label these. All right, so we're gonna make labels for the wires. This is a P-Touch, and it actually has a tape that's heat shrink tubing. So this is actually heat shrink tubing in here. So it'll print on here, and then we'll cut the piece off and heat shrink it to the wire. So I'm gonna pop that in. It's already on. So we'll hit OK. All right, Brian, take over. Okay, so we got Brian here, and he's gonna type out the labels. So strobe dash N for negative, couple spaces, and then strobe dash P for positive. And then hit the print button twice. There we go. Prints it on the back side. There we go. So this is actually heat shrink tubing. So I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. There we go. So that's heat shrink tubing. So we'll put these on, and then we'll shrink them onto the wire, and we'll be done. All right, so this is our positive wire. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our strobe P on there. And right about to there. And heat shrink it on. Slowly but surely. We'll get there. Unfortunately, that's the smallest size we have. I think that's as small as this is going to get. All right, that's fine though. It's on there. So I'll do the next one here. Strobe negative. The fast on will keep it from falling off. So we'll slide that actually we're going to slide it to where it's going to go up here. We'll cut it up here, and then we'll fast on, crimp it to here. Okay. Okay, the fast ons are crimped on. Labels are on, and they're being held by the heat shrink of the connector, so they don't slide up and down. So we got our positive, we got our negative, and we just need to connect it here to our terminal block, and then we're ready to test. Rocco's playing with a rock again.
Rocco loves the ballast. You love the ballast, don't you, Rocco? Yeah.
Surprised he has teeth.
He doesn't chew
He doesn't chew the rock, he just plays with it
and cleans it.
and cleans it.
And then puts
That's
it out in the dirt.
disgusting, Rocco. That is disgusting. Okay, so now we're gonna start working on the right side of the locomotive. So this is the cable that's coming from the strobe up on top of the roof. And these are the two wires that come from the terminal block up in the front of the locomotive. And we're gonna splice these to this. And it's the same exact process, so I'm not gonna bore you with footage of the exact same thing that we just did. So we'll continue when we're all done. Okay. So next, turn my light on. So these are the two wires coming from the right side strobe. So I need to tie wrap those off, just like these are, and then run them over here next to these two that I already ran. And they will be connected in parallel to L1 and L3 of terminal board 16. So this is terminal board 16. And each one of these is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth all the way down. You have a left side and you have a right side. So the left side, the third one down would be L3, and the fourth one down would be L4. So L for left, R for right. So that would be R4, L4. So these will connect in parallel with these, and those will be on L3 and L4 right here. So let's get on it. Okay, so we've got that first tie wrap on. There we go. So there's the first tie wrap. And then I'm just going to keep tie wrapping here and all the way down through there, down to there. All right, so we're ready to connect our strobes. So we got positive going to L3, which is right there. And we got our positive from the left, right, just this one, going to L3. Let's see, where's... All right, that's right there. Oops. There we go. There we go. We got our two positives connected, and then our negative goes to L4. So one of them is going to go here. Let's see if I can get that up. There we go. And the other negative, the other side of, right there. Oh, sorry about the visibility. I'm just doing it with one hand here, so holding the camera and connecting them with one hand. But there we go. So we've got two positives going to L3, two negatives going to L4. It's all tie wrapped in. So now we're going to move on to testing the strobes. Got one over there and one right there. So we're going to see now if those will light up.
We jumpered from that circuit breaker all the way down to here, and you had 64 volts.
Right.
But the other side of that circuit breaker is right here. So we know we had ground. So once you get your lights wired in, then we'll take and we'll put the jumper back on L3 here and down here, and we'll turn on the signal lights.
Okay. Get that battery switch on and let's see what happens.
All right. Smoke out of the wire.
Let's see if the strobe comes on.
There we go. Got engineer side's working.
Can't see that side. This side's not on.
Fireman side's still inoperable.
All right, hold on. Frank, off with the strobe light's head.
Right. What they used to call in the car business at Henry VIII. Off with their heads.
Off with their heads. Okay, so this left strobe is not working, so we're gonna open it up. There's a fuse in there. We're gonna check the fuse. We're gonna see if power's getting up there, number one. Well, fuse number one, and then see if we're getting power up there. And if the fuse is blown, we're gonna try to figure out why. So, stay tuned. Did you get it?
Okay.
Oh. Well, the cover's off.
Yeah, we gotta get you gotta take the other lens.
The other cover off. Yeah, the lens.
Okay, that looks like a Phillips.
All right.
I think
Let me
that
go get
whole
it.
glass piece lifts off there.
Yeah, it's got some screws on it here, it looks like.
Does?
Yeah, it doesn't want to lift up. I got some slots here. So I imagine I'd undo those and
Twist it. Okay, I'm gonna go get some tools.
Yeah, I just need a Phillips.
We've got that flathead screwdriver in action.
And doing it all by braille.
Yeah, you love doing stuff by braille.
Where is this?
So this is what he's doing. Removing the cover, then removing the lens, and then we'll be able to look inside and see the fuse that's in there and the wiring. So that's what we're trying to gain access to.
God, this building has got a nut on it as opposed to a screw.
Are you
I don't
serious?
feel a slot in there with my finger. Let me see.
Oh, great.
Yeah, let's just.
Oh, there we go.
Proud.
Oh, there's even more hardware to remove.
Okay, this one was. But,
Can you see a fuse by any chance?
good Lord. Not anything that looks like a fuse.
Okay.
I think I
Well,
gotta
Carl
take
said
this
there was a
freaking
fuse in
plate
there.
off of here. Well,
Yeah, I think we have to take that plate off.
keep on disassembling it.
We're looking at a spare one here.
I'm just glad this shit's not been on here for 50 years. It's coming right off.
Well, it is brand new.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is we need to check this fuse, and then we're gonna check the positive and the we're gonna check the positive and the negative and make sure we're getting the 74 volts. So fuse, voltage. Okay, so the fuse is burnt. I don't know if you can see it in the camera.
The fuse is back in.
So we're using the fuse out of here. We're putting the fuse back in, and we'll test it outside of the, yeah, we'll put the bulb back in and try it before we put it all back together. If it pops again, then we're gonna have to trace
Just
it
set
from
this in
there.
here and then we can test it out.
All right, let me go down and get some power going.
There's no bulb, obviously, but it's.
All right, so the other issue is there's no bulb.
There's our bulb.
There's the bulb, and you probably don't want to touch it with your fingers.
I was gonna say that's probably one of the looks like a.
Like a halogen type.
Yeah, maybe get a small screwdriver and pry it out, or get a rag or something.
We'll get some rubber gloves.
Yeah, this one's got a bulb in it.
All right,
That may have been our whole
we didn't have a
freaking
bulb.
problem.
Yeah, something happened. Okay, so let's get on it.
We have connection.
All right, we got the bulb back
It's all the way
in.
down. Looks like it's good to me.
Now we'll just reassemble everything. And
We'll just let's light it up first. To make
actually,
sure
yeah,
it
we're
works.
gonna test it first. Okay. All right, drum roll. Strobe lights.
There it is.
There it
We have
is.
Both sides.
L6 back in the air room up to 53R11. So we need to find 53R11.
All right.
And if it's not there when this turns positive, then we've got to get this, and then we got a jumper around it.
Okay. So we're gonna look for terminal board 53, right side 11th wire down.
53R11.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we'll measure voltage on that.
Right. So that, I believe, is in here. So we're gonna remove this
No, down
panel.
below.
Oh, down below.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna remove this panel, get in there, and
Yeah, just push the top button and it'll slide right.
okay.
Yeah. Down to the one bottom. There you go.
Yeah, it's labeled right here,
There
53.
it is. Okay.
So R11 would be
Yeah.
down here.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and connect the wire to that.
Now,
Measure voltage.
yeah. Would you grab the voltmeter there, please?
53. And we're control stand.
Okay, that's going to be plus, so I want to be on minus over here.
Get the voltmeter.
All right, measure on 53.
11.
Grab the book.
I thought you said 11. We got 67 volts on R11. 67.3.
Hang on. $61, 30, 53 R12.
Okay, let's check R12, which is the very bottom right there. Each of these groupings is, starts way up here at 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and all the way down to 12, which is the bottom one right here. So we're gonna probe 12. And as soon as Dave probes the other end, we'll see if there's voltage.
Nothing, huh?
Nothing. Okay, so 53 R11
Yeah.
would be the one above it
Yeah.
right here. And there you are getting 67
Okay, now,
volts.
hang on there.
Okay, 0.
Okay, all right, that's good.
Okay.
All right, well, now, can you jumper R11
To R12?
and R12?
Yes.
You have room down there with a jumper?
Here's R11 and R12. Okay, I'm gonna go right across. Oh, whoops. Okay,
You on?
yeah. Somebody check if the strobes
Okay.
are on.
No, we should be flashing, hang on.
All right. It should be flashing.
Yeah,
Okay, we're flashing. We are flashing.
okay, come back up out of your cabinet and let's come here and let's talk.
Okay, do you want to leave it running?
No, we'll shut her down.
Okay.
All right. Come hither.
All right.
And what we just did, there is 53R12 and there is 53R11. And nothing we did with this switch. This is the headlight front switch.
Right.
It should short those out in any of the positions, and it's not doing it. That's okay. We want that out of there. So if you go back down onto 53R12, pull off the wires SLA and SLP and tie them off.
Okay. So isolate them from the circuit.
Isolate them, leave them hooked up to that switch, because on the switch they're on screws, they're not on fast-ons, and it's impossible to work on those. So lift SLA and SLP from 53R11 and 53R12, and then we're going to run new wires up to one of those circuit breaker or one of those switch panels.
Okay. Let's do it. That one is called, so I'm drinking the Shirley Temple soda pop. It's actually pretty good. I like that.
Shirley Temple, that's
Yeah, that's a good one. And this one's the Moxie, distinctly different, original, what? Elixir. All right, taste test.
Taster's choice.
Harry, taste test?
He's not a fan.
Oh, he's not? You're not a fan of Moxie? Moxicillin?
How about these? When I took them out of the container, I tested them,
Yes.
and they were both
All right.
operational.
Here we go.
Well, that's bizarre.
Where were they stored?
Tastes like Have you ever had
Oh,
Tastes like medicine.
No, I don't remember
That's
where
what
they
I'm
were
saying.
stored.
And
Maybe
they were
Carl
both
will like it.
operational. That's why I picked
One
them
of
up
them
and
had
brought them
been
in.
used because you could see there was tape.
They were used, but I had looked at them and hooked them up to 74 volts.
Oh, that's bizarre.
Yep.
Here, Carl, try
okay.
try some Moxie.
This is Moxie, huh?
Moxie. Let's get your reaction on the Moxie. You like it, huh?
That's pleasant.
It's pleasant. All right. Well, you can have the bottle
It's
then,
a little
right?
nutty.
It's nutty. Makes you nutty. Tastes like
really.
yeah, that alcohol. You've had that. Like a
It
Jägermeister kind of flavor to it.
it leaves something on your tongue though forever.
Yeah.
I
Makes me
find.
want to throw up.
Yeah, first.
Well, here's more. I'm gonna stick to my Shirley Temple.
I'll finish this off.
All right. He likes it.
He likes Moxie?
Yep.
Oh, you'll hate it.
Makes your muscles bigger. Keep drinking.
It tastes good, but it also leaves something on your tongue that you can't get rid of.
And they say this is the only
Some
definition
slime
known as
on your
Moxie.
tongue that you can't get rid of.
Okay.
All right. Got some wires that we took out of the wire bucket. And we're gonna put the strobe switch right here. So I gotta pull this little blank out. And I'll probably reach it by taking this little panel off. And also I'm gonna check back here, because I think we might have access through one of these panels. All right, I pulled that back panel and there's the blank spot. So I do have access from the back. So we're gonna basically put another one of these switches off to the right there. And then that one is right here. So I don't have to worry about removing that. And then from there, we'll drop a wire, 2 wires down to here. All right, get started. Okay, so we removed the little block that was there, blocking that switch. So now we're gonna run wires down in there somewhere in the abyss, down to the terminal block, connect them, and then bring them up here. We're gonna grab a switch, mount it, and then connect our wires to that. Okay, so I fished out my new SLA wire. Now I'm gonna fish out, I ran it right here. There we go. So this will be my new SLP wire. So SLA is gonna go down here on R12. Gotta have tiny hands to get in there. There we go. There we go. So that one's in there. All right, so this is the new SLP that I just ran. I'm gonna pull out, whoops, sorry about that. I'm gonna pull out the old SLP. So this is our old SLP that is no good. It's not connected to anything. And then we're gonna replace that with, sorry about the camera angles. I'm trying to do this with one hand here. And then we'll plug that in right there. Okay, so now we just got to abandon this. So probably just cut it off and tie wrap it up here. Sorry about the camera angles. Try to do this with one hand. Yeah, so I'll cut it and tie wrap it up here so it's out of the way. All right, so we're abandoning the old SLP. It's got a termination on it so that it's electrically isolated. And we'll just tie wrap it here to the bundle. There we go. It's out of the way. So we got our 2 new wires here, and they come up in here. So now we're just getting the switch, mount that, connect our wires, and we will be done. Okay, so we're gonna salvage the switch out of this old panel. So that's gonna be the new switch that's gonna control the strobes on top of the 5704. Yes.
Open up the whole back, and you had access to the whole back from the
Yeah.
rear, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll lift it up and get that panel off.
Okay. Just pulled in. What's going on, Daniel? Carl's ride's a Walker, 1912. It's an electric truck from 1912. This was your Cybertruck in 1912. All electric. Pretty cool. So we ran into a little problem with the switch that we want to use for the strobe. So this is the engine control panel. So if you look at these switches, if you look at the orientation of the hole pattern of where these screws go, you have a little more space here and very little space here. And if you look at this switch, you could see that it would mount in this way. So down is off, up is on, off, on. However, in the control stand, we've got a different situation where the label for the switch is down on the bottom. So instead of being oriented this way, it's oriented this way, and off is up and on is down, which is opposite of all these other switches that are in this control stand. So now we've got to find a switch that looks exactly like this. It's an auto switch. We got to find a switch that looks just like this, but it's opposite. It works opposite of how this one works. So that would be on, that would be off. So that is our dilemma. It's gazillions and gazillions of switches. We're just trying to find one. We can't find it in our containers, but we have a part number. Yep. So Richard's going to order 1 or 2 or 3. Hopefully it's the right switch. Otherwise we're going to have to use the backward switch. Right, Richard?
Yep.
Okay. So Richard's trying to locate the correct switch. The orientation is different for some reason in this locomotive on the control stand, where everywhere else this switch is oriented this way. On the control stand, it's oriented this way. So while these switches, off is down and on is up, on this switch, because it's being used upside down, off is up and on is down. So it's a different part number, and Richard looked it up and he's going to order some, and hopefully that'll solve our problem. So that'll be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. You're taking off on your Cybertruck? Yeah. Your electric Cybertruck from 1912. Pretty cool.
Please support us and share.